In this section, we'll look at the elimination method, also known as the addition method in some textbooks. And the strategy is to eliminate one of the variables. I can choose to eliminate the x or the y variable. If I look at equation 1 and equation 2, it's easiest to eliminate the x variable because we have a -6 down here and a 2y up here. So I can multiply the first equation, the entire first equation, by a factor of 3. If we do that, this gives us 6x minus 9y equals -48. And that's great because now if I shift the second equation directly underneath it, notice we have 6x and -6x. They are opposite. So we can simply add these two equations now, and one of the variables eliminates. This simplifies to -4y is equal to a -16. We can divide both sides by -4. Y simplifies to +4. Now, just like in the previous section, we can substitute into equation 1 or equation 2. It's up to us. I'm just going to choose equation 1 because it looks simpler to me. So let's plug this y into equation 1 for the y. And so 2x minus 3 times 4 equals -16. 2x minus 12 is equal to -16. I can add 12 to both sides. 2x is equal to -4. And now we can divide both sides by 2. And our solution here is x equals -2. Let's write our answer as an ordered pair, -2, 4. In example 2, we can eliminate either the x or y variable. It's up to us. I think I'll eliminate the y variable here because it's already opposites. So I can just shift the first equation over. We'll do nothing to it. But the second equation, I can multiply everything here by a +3. We're going to use a +3 because it's going to create an opposite for the -9y and the +9y. 3 times 4x is 12x. 3 times 3y is +9y. And 3 times 3 is going to give us 9. Notice what happens. We eliminate the y's when we add them up. This is 14x is equal to 42. Let's solve for x. Let's divide both sides by 14. And so x is equal to 3. That's our first solution here. And now I could choose to plug it into any equation I want. If you look carefully, I think equation 2 looks a little simpler, so we'll use that. 4 times 3 plus 3y is equal to 3. This is now 12 plus 3y equals 3. We can subtract 12 to both sides. 3y is now equal to -9. I can divide both sides by 3 to solve for y. And y here simplifies to a -3. Let's write our answer as 3, -3. It's an ordered pair solution. In example 3, it's a little bit different. It's not stacked up like the previous examples. So that's what we're going to do first. We're going to stack them up. And for the first one, I'll just leave that alone. It's already in x plus y form, so we'll just leave that alone. For the second one, I can move one of these variables. I will choose to move that 2x here to the left side. So the second equation now translates to -2x plus 5y equals 11. So you can see that the x's are on top of the x's and the y's are on top of the y's. Which variable is easy to eliminate? Well, they're both about the same, so let's try to eliminate the x variable here. I'll multiply the top one by a 2 onto everything. And for the bottom, we'll multiply each of these terms by a 3. Again, I want to get opposites, so I want to get the x to eliminate, and I'm targeting 6x and negative 6x because I know that's going to cancel out. The first equation becomes 6x plus 4y equals negative 52. The second equation becomes negative 6x plus 15y equals 33. We can now add. This gives me 19y is equal to negative 19, which means if I divide both sides by 19, y is equal to negative 1, and now we can plug this negative 1 into any equation we want. I'm just going to choose the first one here. It looks easier for me, so we'll plug in a negative 1 for the y, and this simplifies to 3x minus 2 equals negative 26. Let's add the 2 to both sides. We'll add the 2 to both sides. 3x is now equal to negative 24. I can divide both sides by 3, and that means x equals negative 8. Our ordered pair solution is negative 8, comma, negative 1. In example 4, I want to stack the variables on top of one another again. So let's start here by subtracting 4y to both sides. In the first equation, we'll subtract 4y to both sides. I have 3x minus 4y equals 11. And for the second one, we'll do nothing for now. This is 9x minus 12y equals 30. Now we could choose to eliminate x's or y's. I want to eliminate the x here, and so I'll use negative 3 and multiply negative 3 to every single term for the first equation. And I don't need to multiply anything to the second equation, so we'll leave that alone for now. And so negative 9x plus 12y gives us negative 33. And for the second equation, we're just going to leave it alone for now. And hey, look what happens. When we add these two equations together, we get 0 equals negative 3. This is, again, a contradiction. And you know what it means when you have a contradiction? No solution. That's our answer. These two lines are actually parallel. They never intersect, and so there is no solutions. These are parallel lines that never intersect, and that's why we have a contradiction. Example 5. This one involves fractions. To deal with the fractions, use the LCD. For the first one, the LCD is 6, and for the second equation, the LCD is 12. So I will multiply by 6 to every single one of these terms for the first equation. And for the bottom equation, we're going to multiply every single one of these with a 12. You can try these on your own and make sure you simplify it to the same equations that I have. Negative 4x plus 15y equals 84. Again, try to simplify this by yourself and making sure you get the same equation I have. So equation 1 is now translated to an equation without fractions. 12 times 5 over 12, that gives us 5x. 3/4 y times 12, that gives us 9y. And that is equal to 1/2 times 12, or 6. So this is our new version of equation 2. And notice how we can eliminate the x by multiplying the top row by 5 and the bottom row by 4. And the reason we're doing that is you'll notice that we get a negative 20x on the top and a positive 20x on the bottom, and that will eliminate the x variable. That's the point. We're using elimination. This simplifies to negative 20x plus 75y equals 420. And for the bottom, it's 20x plus 36y equals 24. If you add these two up, you will realize you have 111y is equal to 444. What a nice number, because that's divisible by 111. Y is equal to 4. And now I could substitute that back into any equation I want to solve for x. The easiest one is the second equation, in my opinion. So we have 5x plus 9 times 4 equals 6. And I'm using the equation before we multiplied it by 4. It's just easier. So this is 5x plus 36 is equal to 6. Subtract 36 to both sides. We get 5x equals negative 30. And so if you solve for x is equal to negative 6. That's our second solution. And so we have negative 6 comma 4 is our ordered pair.